Right, man. How's y'all week been so far?
Busy, busy like a bee, bro. Buzzing, busy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had a
I know
crazy
this one.
weekend.
Yeah, it's been one of them weeks, man. It kind of seems like this whole are we still in the retrograde?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
know we also still in the Lions Gate until tomorrow. Retrograde, I forgot when it ends. Let's see. Let's look it up. Let me see when the retrograde ends. And yeah, we still in the retrograde.
No, it's been a lot going on, retrograde and the Lions Gate. So, it's been a lot of like back and forth energy
Hmm.
that's been coming and whatnot. And it's been a real good time. Also at the same time, also just kind of knowing everything, what's going on, how how we can make certain moves, what we can do, how we can do certain things and whatnot. Uh, a lot of people they tend to get a little scared when they hear that Mercury retrograde and everything, but it was I want to say Dolo the Pilot Man, the YouTuber astrologer, and if I'm correct, the brother did say sometimes when it quote unquote retrogrades, it means sometimes they say you don't do a certain thing, but only way that a person is really gonna find out if that's really true for them or not is actually just orders. They sell. And I know I have been putting a lot of the technology to the test.
Hmm.
This week and everything. Phone been acting up, and I've been saying, all right. You say it's a retrograde, but I ain't believing you.
Yeah.
So it just been kind of crazy, man. I do look crazy.
Yeah. Nah, I had my stuff been breaking. I don't know what been going on. I actually lost my phone the other day, and I was not happy about that, but I did end up finding that. Um, my key fob broke. It's been a hectic week, so it definitely feel that
Yeah,
retrograde energy for sure.
yeah, yeah. I'm just kind of glad it's coming to an end and
Yeah.
whatnot, and things can get quote unquote somewhat back to normal and everything. But besides all of that, my brothers, I tried to figure out some stuff earlier uh, this morning when I was riding because I'm actually out here in Mississippi right now because I gotta be right down the street. This Amazon picking up a load at 8 o'clock and whatnot. So I said it is what it is. But when I was riding this morning, I was trying to uh, get this Zoom linked up with YouTube. Now I can't right now we don't have enough subscribers on the YouTube page, so we can't do that. But some said try my own channel, so I tried my own channel and it can go through. But I said, um, this is the Metaphysical Music podcast show, and we're gonna let that be what it is and everything. So, uh, oh, to give y'all a heads up, I've been to hit that record button. So, um, just let y'all know. But everybody that's watching and also listening, um, we need more subscribers to YouTube. Y'all want to see all? We missing a brother today. He's actually headed back to Houston from Tennessee and everything. So safe travels, to their brother and whatnot. And but if people want, they want to see us live and whatnot, they're gonna have to, subscribe. And as Willie D say, smash up them like buttons, smash up them like buttons. So they're gonna have to subscribe. They're gonna have to share. They're gonna have to comment. Kind of made some things shake a couple of days ago, and things are looking on the up and up, on the social media platforms and everything for the show. So, besides all of that, my brothers, the question I got for y'all is, what do y'all know about vibrational thoughts?
So, I mean, I know personally, like every single thought that you have, it carries some form of a vibration to it. It carries an energy to it. So that's why, I always tell people you gotta be careful about what you're thinking. You gotta be mindful. You gotta be aware. Because if you just got a monkey mind, you just letting it go, it's not good for you. There's all type of stuff to get into your energy that way. So yeah, I mean, some thoughts, they got an energy of anger behind it, of guilt, shame, and emotions are literally energy in motion. So, energy is a vibration. So, that's where that self-awareness comes in. That's where the meditation comes in. That's practicing self-awareness. Otherwise, anything is just gonna be running through your mind. And that's also where, you gotta be careful what you're listening to. Like
Right.
with the music. Because, I used to listen to like nasty stuff, like murder rap and stuff like that back when I was in high school. That's what I grew up around, And because of that, I was a lot angrier back then. You know,
Mhm.
I was I was not in a healthy state of mind. But nowadays I'm listening to jazz music, classical sometimes, R&B, stuff with a high vibration that, I'm at a lot more peace. So
Right.
once again, you just gotta be, careful when it comes to your thoughts.
Uh,
I
brother. Brother Theo, let me ask you something. Because I know in the past we have talked about, and this is nothing against these guys, but E40, uh, lot of the hell, Spice One, SIBO, um, them kind of artists. Um, do it have something to do with the actual person that listens to them, that can distinguish that vibration that they're sending out, just through the music, or is everybody, monkey minded?
well, when we say monkey mind, I'm thinking, okay, everybody is just on that one kind of dumbfounded or not unaware type of state of actually what's really going on. Um, when we talking about vibrational thought, it just depends on what vibration the listener is actually on. Thoughts are just like frequencies, like we're tuned into a radio frequency. This is the same thing, although we're now doing a lot of streaming music and we're listening to music on CDs and other ways, other platforms, and other ways that we receive these frequencies. It's still very influential because it comes through not only the music, but it also comes through the lyrics. It does depend on the receiver, because we can tune into different channels, just like back in the day we had, or even still, we have certain radio channels that we tune into because we register with that frequency. So it really depends on what one wants to receive. What type of vibration do you want to be on? Those are the type of vibrational thoughts that you will receive more clearly rather than others. We can tune into other types of music, like Brother Jonathan was saying, listening to jazz, listening to classical, listening to good R&B, listening to soul music, even listening to blues, even rock. It's so many different genres of music that it depends on what one wants to hear. Those are the frequencies and the thoughts that you're going to receive, not only from the lyrics, but also subliminally from the music. We have to understand and understand that music affects our cells, our members in our body in many different ways, and them cells run deep through our brains as well. We have brain cells. So depending on what the lyrics are saying and how we register our life with how we connect our lives that we have experienced in the past, or lives that we foresee or we want to experience in the future. Sometimes people can get lost in memory, and it can get lost in fantasy based on the frequency and the vibration, and also based on the lyrics. A lot of people hear lyrics and they take on that energy and they put themselves in that same mindset, especially when it comes to rap music. And we've learned, I don't know anything. I know that I know nothing. But what I have been made privy to is that the rap industry has been influenced to send out a lot of negative messages that influence the culture, that influences our people and people who listen to hip hop and people who listen to rap music. So those words deeply affect the listener. Those are vibrational thoughts that come from the artist. Artists have to be conscious, and many artists are conscious of the lyrics that they're putting out. They know that this is a broadcast. When you think, you're broadcasting your thoughts upon the whole world. So whoever tunes in and receives that, they may get on the same frequency. And when it comes to music, music is a universal language. We're talking about music alone, not lyrics. Music alone is a universal language, so anybody can tap into beat, to a vibe, to a groove, and then if the lyrics start to flow, that stuff sinks deep down into your subconscious, into your psyche, into your cell. So we always have to be mindful of what we're listening to. Either it's going to do one or two things. It's only going to do one or two things. Music and lyric is going to either help you or it can hurt you. It depends on the listener. The rappers and artists, and even not just rappers, but any artist is responsible for what they put out to the world. But with the industry is controlled. So a lot of this is to put things out that negatively influence our person. Like back in the days, before a lot of the music became so frazzled, all we used to listen to is music that had good vibes. We talking about Frankie Beverly and Maze. We talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire. We talking about so many different artists, Function and with Cameo and the Barcades and just good music. And it was also tuned to different frequencies. So the gave us happy feelings, bro. Now it's different. But those thoughts come through. Those thoughts of the lyricists, they come through and they read it. And they take us on trips. They take us on trips. So vibrational thought is something that we all have to be aware of. We have to pay attention to what we listen to and what we're receiving, because we're tuned into channels. Even though they're not radio channels, we're tuned into the channels of that artist's mind, the musicians and the lyricists. we're tuned into their frequencies, and their frequencies are sometimes channeled from other places. They're channeled from good places and bad. So we have to be mindful of what it is that we are willing to listen to. I used to listen to a lot of gangster rap. I still do. I don't let it influence me though, but sometimes it me on one of those trips where I go back in the day. But am I gonna go out and do this shit? Nah, ain't gonna do that.
Well, you know, when it comes to that, hey, what up, brother DJ? How you doing today, my brother? See you out there getting that sun in.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good,
We
good.
doing good,
Oh,
man.
good, bro.
You know, when cause I remember that point in time where Bone Thug and Harmony, they I think it might have been the first or the second album that they put out, but it was a big controversy that them Tupac also, it was a big controversy. You know, the lyrics that they was putting out were satanic. It was downgrading the women, stuff like that. And I understood at a young early age that number one is entertainment. That's number one. But number two, a lot of times you have to be able to peel back the layers that's in this onion, because it's so many layers that's inside of this onion in order for you to get to what you need to get to. And them brothers, they do have, you know, good positive music also, but that the whole media propaganda machine, you know, they was working, they they was working real hard back then, and they're even working even more harder now. And then even when it came to like your KRS-One, matter of fact, I'm just gonna say it because I really don't like this category that the hip hop community has put these brothers in. KRS-One, Common, Pete Rock, CL Smooth. They call them Rhapsody. They call them your conscious rappers. And for me, I don't like to hear that word conscious rapper, because I know even though somebody might be putting some bullshit out there, they still have some kind of conscious that's in them. A lot of people tend to not realize what the true definition of consciousness means. The true definition of consciousness means to be aware of something, even if they are quote unquote putting out, you know, shoot 'em up, bang, 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 bang. They are consciously aware of what kind of music and what kind of lyrics that they're putting out. And at some point in time, you know, somebody's gonna be talking to them about, hey man, you know, you don't think or feel the kind of music that and the lyrics that you putting out, it has a effect, it has a harm, you know, on your brothers, your sisters, you know, yeah, it got you like I wish I could show y'all these houses that I'm looking at. It got you one of them big old houses over there, but at what cost?
Mm.
You know, what did you have to do in order uh uh to be the big boss and everything? So, you know, it's fucked up, man, because they back in the mid '80s, going into the '90s, when they started to realize it was a lot of money to be made in hip hop and in rap music, that's when they really uh, put their claws into the industry, did everything in their power to get rid of quote unquote the conscious artist or the true MC. You know, because a lot of these artists, they kind of forget They don't even know what the fuck the definition of MC even means. And I think that's kind of sad and whatnot, man. But I did find some information on the word vibrational thoughts. And to be honest with you, brothers, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but this right here is a Metaphysical Bible Dictionary from Charles Fillmore. And
Oh, that's dope right there.
it now I was listening to the master teacher. He's he been in the Senate and whatnot, Brother C. Freeman L. And him and also teacher Bobby Emmett had gave this information out, back in the day and whatnot. And my spirit said, go ahead and jump on it and just get into it and whatnot. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read something to you brothers, because I was telling y'all that vibrational thoughts, it has so many definitions to this, and I don't find this to be a coincidence that brother GJ just so happened to jump on this Zoom call. Now I'm gonna read some.
I sent out a special request to make sure he had made his appearance. I requested him. I summoned him. And I vibrationally sent that message and told him, you got to be here, brother. So he joined us. Ashe.
Hey, it's funny because I was going to go to an event today and I was supposed to be there and I ended up not going.
Here you go.
But I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, it's all good, my brother. I'm gonna read a couple of definition words to y'all. The first one is it's called thought vibrations or vibration thoughts. Energies sent out by the force or power of thought. Now, that in a nutshell, brother Jonathan, when you said energy, I said, yeah. I said the brother's on it. The brother already know. And for everybody that's watching and also listening, kind of piggybacking off of what brother Jonathan said, people y'all don't really realize, but thoughts that come into your mind. Number one, you got two choices. You got two choices when a thought comes in your mind. You can either accept it or you can reject it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about being the observer of your thoughts, and people just don't say that for no reason. You have to be the observer of your thoughts, and you have to ask yourself, does this serve me or am I going to serve it? And whatever choice and answer you come up with, it's going to determine if you're going to accept that thought or if you're going to reject that thought. The other thing that Spirit kind of revealed to me a couple of days ago, how many of you brothers like working with your ancestors and certain deities?
Of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now, y'all know that you're just working with energy. You're working with their energy. In other words, you're working with that energy thought of that ancestor or that deity. That's it. That's it. Now, another one, which I kind of, when I read this one, I said, wow, I said, this is kind of deep. This is called quality of thoughts. It says, like attract like. A thought will take up a abide in our consciousness with the thoughts of a like character. This law of attraction continues until combined thoughts make a quality. This quality of thoughts expresses itself in the cells of the body, for good or for ill. Now, when I've been and read this and understood it and overstood it, the first thing that popped in my mind was tumor cells, cancer cells, because them diseases are copies of thoughts. But a lot of people don't understand that, and they don't realize that. A lot of people, they I mean, I've seen people, you know, I'm doing bad today. I'm doing, oh man. Matter of fact, my father-in-law, he says this all the time, and I don't do nothing but just kind of shake my head. I say, hey pops, how you doing today? He said, oh Key, I'm doing good. I'm just an old man, just old rusty can, just ready to be kicked down the street.
Yeah.
You know, and the tripped out thing about it is, every time I see him, he's walking like his back hurt, and he's limped over, and then not even to a clue. You know, he seen everything. You know, of the hall from the rooter to the tutor and everything. So you know, I'm like, man, like you just adding more shit on top of shit on top of shit on top of
Mm-hmm.
shit, and what do you get? You know, you get shit. You know, so even when it comes to the food, you know that we put into our this avatar also, it plays a huge part, you know, also in making us feel like shit. And then when we start to get them thoughts, we start to think like shit, we start to act like shit, we start to do shit, and then we start looking around our fucking life. It ain't nothing but a pile of shit, you know,
Yeah.
when it's all, said and done and whatnot. And that's it's kind of crazy, y'all. It really is, you know, the way out. People don't really like to take the time out to really understand that they had the power to accept the thought or to reject it. Um, Thoughts come to us every second, every second, and we have that power and that control. You know, it's other beings that's out here. They don't have that power and that control like we do. And I think, and I personally believe, that's what makes us a whole lot different, from everything else, that's out here right
Mm-hmm.
now.
I want to
Yeah.
chime in. I want to chime in on this and say that just rewinding, kind of going back to like we're talking about artistry and music, and even things that we put out into the universe. And when we talk about consciousness, and when those who are aware of what they're putting out, we all have to also be mindful that what you put out, you shall also receive. So when we're talking about music and lyrics and things like that, yeah, it's about money, but at the same time, people that are putting out things that may potentially be harmful to the listener, they have to realize that there's repercussions for every lyric, every thing that they put out to the world. They have a higher judgment because of what they're consciously doing. No matter whether the record label say you got to do this or you got to do that, you still solely responsible because everybody has choices. Like E40 said, you can choose this or you can choose this. We all have to be accountable for the choices that we make in this lifetime, and it doesn't matter whether it's part of trying to get the money, get to the bag, or it's part of being inducted into a gang, and this whatever choices you make, they're still solely your own. We're all responsible for the vibrations and the frequencies that we put out to the world and to other beings. And also just piggybacking, just going to something, actually looking at young brother Genius Juice eating on that apple. We got to think about the things that we are feeding our bodies, because what we are feeding our bodies are feeding our minds. And when we're feeding our minds things, these things are going out to other beings too. We're talking about vibration. When you are, and I say they go back to saying you are what you eat. You know, if you put junk in, you're gonna put junk out mentally. You're gonna put junk out when you shit it out, even in your moods and your attitudes. We are what we eat, and that's no bullshit. But when you eat higher vibratory foods, you have higher vibratory thoughts. Even when you talk about fasting, man, you're talking about some high vibrating thoughts. Do a real, not even a fruit fast, do a water fast, or do something like real fast, and don't eat nothing. Watch how high your frequencies raise and how high your thoughts get, because you get closer to the creator when you don't have anything in your body disturbing you. Many people will attest that. I think your brother GJ can also tell you that. But like sitting here and watching him eat that apple is feeding him, not just sustaining him. It's feeding him. It's giving him nourishment to his whole body, and everything in our body circulates through the whole body, including the brain. So if you're feeding your body good things, you're gonna have good thoughts. We eating a lot of this processed garbage, man. And yeah, it's hard to get off of it. And everybody got to everybody got their own path and their own time. But when you want to have higher thoughts, we start doing higher things. And first, it starts with the body. Me, myself, I'm taking many different herbal supplements. I'm definitely doing a lot more natural foods. Yeah, I eat a little store-bought stuff every now and then, but I'm also taking lots of detox and doing detox to clear my body, which clears my mind. But every time I do a detox, my thinking becomes much sharper. I can tune in to certain people and certain frequencies. We're talking about vibrational thoughts. Now, I actually did really text GJ and told him to hop on here, but I was thinking a lot of times we just be thinking about each other. Like, oh, I was just thinking about you. Oh, this is and that happens often because we link in on vibrations. Even with my girl, we have same thoughts. We do shit like, okay, because we're tuning in. But those thoughts are very powerful. We used to use mental telepathy back in the day. That's where they got the cell phone shit from. That technology came from our ancestors, and how we used to really use vibrational thoughts to summon one another, to share information. We could be worlds away, but you're on the same thing. You could send messages to people. But again, there's so many other things that we can do to enhance our thoughts based on what we feed our bodies and what we feed our brains. I also take colloidal silver, I take colloidal gold, I take colloidal platinum, and those things also help me to think better and think sharper. I take brain enhancement supplements and just clearing the body. When we're talking about getting on the right frequencies, man, those are the things that we all need to do collective if we want to raise the vibrations of the earth and even raise the vibrations in our music and in our messages. We have to cleanse ourselves. And to each his own. Everybody got their own way of doing it. But if we want higher thoughts, we have to step up and do things that are conducive to the body, which are also conducive to the brain. Everything we feed the body, we feed the brain.
Now, let me ask you this. And this question really goes out to everybody. So far, it's like colonial silver, black seed oil, even taking cell alkaline pills. What for? I mean, we pretty much know, what they do, but for everybody that's either watching or listening, what can you tell them? What can it do for them, personally?
Are you talking about the specific products that you just mentioned, like colloidal silver, colloidal gold, black seed oil?
Yeah.
So black seed oil, I mean, I don't personally take it, but it's powerful. They call it the cure of everything except death. And it just has that ability to remove inflammation at a high level, That's what I like to think of all medicine as so for example, I'm here in the woods right now. And I'd like to think of every single plant as like a program of itself, like a crystal. So that's why when you put a seed in the ground, it does what it's programmed to do. But at the same time, that's why they say the herbs is for the healing of the nations. Like they were in the program that we live in, there's programs that are intended to heal people from disease, because all disease is pretty much the same. So when you talk about black seed, that's just a powerful program intended to bring healing to the body, right? And it has the ability to heal so many different aspects of the body. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because the same way that you would program a crystal or program yourself, I find that one of the most important things, rather than what you eat, is how you eat. So, like, are you eating to capacity every single meal? Are you eating 3 to 5 meals a day? Are you? And the other thing is like to bless your food. I think that's so important. Or if we want to use that word, or just put good intentions on your food. You know, when you talk about vibrational speech, that's the most important thing that you could do, because you change the chemical constituents of the actual thing before you put it in your body. So I think that's even more important than just, you know, what you're eating. You try to get a clean quality source of food, whatever. But you see, it's people out here eating meat. It's people out here eating fried food. People out here eating whatever, and they're still able to elevate. So it's like, it's beyond like the dogma of like, you got to be vegan in order to elevate. Like, that's like dogma. Like, that don't even, it's too we live in such a multi-dimensional world. Like, you can't say you got to be X, Y, or Z to elevate. Like, it's infinite paths. But I just think that that's one thing that's really important. Program everything that you put in your body, you know, because when you think everything is a ritual, put fire to the food to cook it. Like, you got to use water. You know what I mean? You using earth because you're using the herbs. Like, and obviously it's air all around us. So that's a whole entire ritual. So while you doing that, whether you cooking or eating something raw, you just gotta really do it with intention. Like, whether you singing a prayer or you playing a prayer, or you just putting your own love into it. Like, I think that really does make all the difference. And it might sound cliche, but like, this is what our ancestors was doing, you know? Like, they would bless food or bless water before they put it in their bodies, you know? And they believed that would help them. Like, if somebody was drinking dirty water and they blessed it, it would be better for them, you know? Because we have the power to change the reality. It's not the other way around. It's not that the reality is affecting us. It's we affecting the reality. But like, when you forget that, that's when you become a victim, and then you start to develop diseases. You know what I mean? I personally believe that. Nah, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, brothers. I got a question. I got a question for you. After you get finished.
Nah, the last thing I was gonna say was, I personally believe that the masters, like the masters, they could eat whatever, and it won't even negatively affect their body, because they're like a living, walking, talking vessel of God. So everything that they put inside of them becomes God. That's when you get past all the health dogma, and you get past all that, it all comes back to self. So I think, and especially when you talk about healing, vibrations, and sound, the hospitals of the future, it's gonna be some herbs, it's gonna be crystals, it's gonna be music. You know what I mean? Like, and it's gonna be high vibrational technology. That's my opinion. You know?
I got to piggyback on that, because I've actually had an experience recently that my thoughts were able to control my condition. I got some news that I went to a physician, and they gave me some news about something that I thought I had dealt with. But it's like, okay, it took me for a minute, but then I came and I calmed myself down. Vibrational and then thoughts. We can heal ourselves through thoughts. The herbs do just enhance the healing. And just like Brother GJ was saying, we're moving into an era of medicine that is going to be vibrational and through frequencies and vibrations, sound and thought. Yeah, and the masters do have the ability to eat anything that they want, because they have been anointed and blessed by the Creator. Some have that ability, and those that don't, we're still on a path of learning how to use our vibrations to move things, especially in the body, first and foremost. If you can heal yourself through thought, that is power. But thought also takes action behind the thought to enhance the healing. Because then even with us, and I'm not a master or anything like that, but I do know that faith without works is dead. I can pray all day long and meditate, and ain't nothing just gonna fall out the sky. It requires me to do some type of action, to put something in play to help the whatever situation that I'm in to move forward. And when we align our thoughts with God's thoughts or with the universe's thoughts, that's when we really see manifestation. And it's real, bro. And it's to each individual is the power that they think, that's the power that they are given. Thoughts are powerful, very powerful. Our thoughts create our world, like our thoughts create our world, and our words create our world as well. So thoughts and words create your reality. And yeah, we can do anything, man. Vibrationally, when we get on a high vibration, we do some things that we are amazed by. But when it comes to music, again, it's a universal language, just like our thoughts. Another, just an example, our thoughts are also universal language. Even though we may have different languages, if we could align with the same thoughts, somebody that speaks a whole different language can feel or receive your thoughts. Mental telepathy, again, going back to mental telepathy. You don't always have to be able to understand one another to understand, and understand, or connect with other people. But yeah, that's my my thought.
So is it fair to say and really hell anybody can ask this one when it comes to the food that we eat, even uh, going back to music as well, the music and even the lyrics that we choose to listen to, do we have the power inside of us to be able to um, distinguish if it's good enough for us or not, or is everybody at a different level, right now at this point?
I think that when you talk about music that's good for you or food that's good for you, at the end of the day, it's all just energy. So when you consume something, whether through the ears, through the eyes, through the mouth, it's still coming into you. So everything, it's all just energy. And what I've realized is that you get certain feelings in your body when something is for you and when something is not for you. And we all have that ability. Like when you when I look at something, and I do this all the time, if someone makes me food, or if I go out to eat, or if I walk in a restaurant, I'll get a feeling in my throat. And it's been happening to me for like 2 years now. And it lets me know to eat it or not to eat it. And whenever I ignore it, I be getting a stomach ache. And whenever I choose to follow it, it goes well for me. And then I realize, oh, I'm glad I didn't eat that particular food, or I'm glad that I didn't listen to that particular song. Because another thing is that just like how food can age us, like getting back to the whole point is that everything is energy. So the food can age us, but the music can age us too. When you're listening to them beats, when you're listening to that low vibe energy that's coming out of the stereo, it's one thing to not allow it to affect your mind, but at the end of the day, the body is still a program and it's gonna react to what's going on around it. So it's like you're gonna cause deterioration of the body because if you ask me, the same way that you eat some fried chicken and it's gonna cause mucus production in the body, listening to harmful music is gonna cause stagnation in your energy, like in your energy body, like because that's been my personal experience with it. Like growing up, used to like play football. We used to be in the locker room listening to craziness. And as I became to like wake up more, I would hear that and it wouldn't make me feel good. Like it would make me like, it would like lower my energy. Cause it's like, I'm not killing people. Like I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to hear this. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. Like just becoming more sensitive to energy is really important. And then once we do, we could then learn how to like manipulate our energy, which is getting back to the whole music and sound healing and all that. Like when you study the ancients, this is nothing new. Like this is what they've been doing. So we're just getting back to it. Like using certain sounds to heal ourselves, like certain meditations to heal ourselves. And then like how I said, I believe that the main thing is just programming ourselves because we're what's important. All the other stuff is like supplemental in my opinion. But if you program yourself and you heal and purify your mind and fortify it, like none of this other stuff matters. That's or has minimal effect. That's my personal take on it.
Yeah. And I think it all really does come back. You can go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, bro. No, you go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I think it all does come back to awareness though. Like, because if you're not even aware, like Brother DJ was saying about, he gets a like feeling in his throat when he knows something not good for him. If you're not aware of that, you can't really do much. So I think everybody deep down, they know whether something is good or bad for them, whether it's music or food or whatever. But I feel like a lot of people kind of just float through life. They're unaware. Even when they listen to music that, they after they listen to it, they don't feel good. You know, they not really sure why they don't feel good. And I feel like that's the main issue with a lot of people with society. They don't know what's harming them and what's helping them. You feel me? So they just kind of go with the flow. So that's my personal take. Yeah.
It's it's some information that it came out, and whew, um, it's dealing with one of the alphabet boys. I got to be real careful of naming this particular alphabet cruise, but it's a Big Brother alphabet cruise. Um, it started off in the '60s where they infiltrated a lot of your media, so far as television, magazine, record labels, and etc. And they started pushing this agenda to quote unquote program us to what they wanted. A lot of I think they call it fear mongering and whatnot. Brother Dane Calloway, he got a couple of videos out where he kind of talks a little bit more in detail about it. And I just so happened to read an article on it this past week, and the information just like really blew my mind because they actually get funding from the American people to do these programs on us, and it's all about this power and control. And I forgot who said it. They said it's like 2 million of us, and it's like 5 families that are running the world, and they are got a grip on all of us, and we don't even realize like that. And the music plays a big part. The food, oh man, they been infiltrated the food hell back in the '70s. They been to started back. I was talking to one of my brothers out here in Mississippi a couple weeks ago, and me and him was laughing because his grandparents, they grew up on the farm, and then my grandparents, they had grew up on the farm. And only thing, well, what was said to me was they only ate what they was able to grow. That was number one. It wasn't no going to McDonald's or going to Burger King or anything like that. If you wanted a hamburger, you know, grandma or mama, she got in that kit, you know. Well, first of all, you had to go slaughter that cow or that pig. Then you had to, you know, you had to go through that whole process. But at the end of the day, what really made me say, "Damn, that's kind of deep." He said, "Bro," he said, "You know, they was eating everything back then, every hog maws and chitlins and pig feet and pig tongues and pig ears." And I said, "Yeah, bro." I was like, "But the thing is, that's out there working in that field all day long, from sun up to sundown." And I said, do you realize that the sun was detoxing them from the head to the toe? And to add to it, I said, think about what they were singing when they was out there in these fields. So it was a combination of getting the sun, which hell, the sun did definitely changed now than what it used to be. You know, back then, but they was getting the sun, and then they was also singing them. They like to call them old spiritual Negro songs and whatnot. You know, they was listening to it, and they was working. They was working all day.
I'm going to jump in right here and say you're absolutely correct. And with that thought, we also have to consider the fact that back in those times, the quality of everything was different. And yes, we were able to our ancestors, they were able to consume different things that did not affect them in the way that things are affecting us today, especially with the monopoly in the food industry. Also with all the things they're doing with a lot of other things, the water, the food, the water, the air. These things we have to be mindful of now. Not only the air, we have to think about the airwaves, the EMFs, and 5G. These things are all subliminally or are invisibly sometimes not knowingly causing our mental brain waves to be affected in many different ways. And I was just listening to something yesterday. They were talking about even how the Crips and Bloods were established. It was established out of a university. I think it was Pepperdine University. They said they did a programming and they started sending these brain waves, mental brain waves to our melanated brothers to develop gangs, to get the gang started. I thought that was kind of profound. I never heard that before because I saw how the Crips and the Bloods were established. I was right there, bro. No kidding, no lie, no fluff. I was a little boy. I saw the Crips getting established. I saw the Bloods getting established in the park right near where I live, man. But thinking about how their minds were programmed or how these it was programmed and how they were targeted to do this. We also have to be mindful that we are targets of invisible weapons of a silent war. We always have been. Things that we can't see, that saying, they say, what you don't know won't hurt you, that's bullshit. Because what you don't know will definitely hurt you. If you don't know, and even the things that you know, they can still be harmful because some things we can't do anything about. We can't do anything physically about the air except for rely on our creator and our own instincts to detox. And also the 5G, that shit is here. They didn't even pass a law to do it. They just did it. And nobody approved. They didn't have to because money talks, money rules the world. Then people, those beings that rule the world, they do what they want. It doesn't matter who it affects, even though it affects some of their descendants. They don't care. However, the whole thing goes back around in full circle, coming to what you were saying about detoxing. There's many different forms of detoxing, and even music detoxes us. Music is also food. It's also a detoxifier. We can listen to, I know me, myself, and my history of listening to music does influence me. And it can also we have the control over how much influence that it has, because we don't have to go out and act and do certain things that we think this is telling us, but we also have to think about the power of mind control things, mind control drugs, mind control food, the air, the water, the EMS. We also have to think these things also affect us in many different ways, and definitely mentally. But at the same time, when you're aware, then you could do something about it, like detox. We detox in many different forms. Yes, the sun is one of the main ways, man. Sitting out in the sun, getting that sweat out, that's one of the major detoxifiers. Also, just to say, going back to music, we can detox with music. Listening to jazz music, we decompress. Listening to classical music, listening to things that give us a calming effect and then take us to a different place, because that calms you. Music calms the savage beast, and we have that savage beast in us, and it detoxifies. We can remove toxins by listening to harmonious things and receiving those in our ears, and they also affect every cell, every member and cell in your body, so it can detox as well. Music is also food. It feeds the soul. So again, we have to be mindful of these things and know what works for us, what helps us, what hurts us. That's the deciding factor. And when we're talking about vibrational frequencies, going back, and vibrational thoughts, we have to be, like you said, we have to be one or the other. We have to be open to receiving vibrations. And even when it's coming to thoughts of other people, we have to be either allowing that or being aware enough to reject that, because if we allow it and we know it's harmful, then we know we're harming ourselves. If we disallow it because we know it's harmful, then we're protecting ourselves. So it's also a choice. But vibrational thoughts exist no matter whether we want to receive them or reject them. Because we're talking about auric fields now too, because you could come into somebody's auric field and you may not align with them, but their thoughts intertwine with your thoughts just from being in a certain circumference of where you are. Sometimes we receive thoughts that are, a lot of times we're receiving thoughts that are not our thoughts. So thoughts is something we do have to protect. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be quiet. Parliament said it best way back in the days. Mind your wants, because someone wants your mind. That's a profound lyric and a deep state. Something we need to be mindful of today. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe. You know, and to piggyback back, even a little bit more on that, brother Theo. You know, when it comes to a lot of the new artists that are out here now, something that I kind of started to see a trend. You know, back then when this whole thing of conscious rappers was coming about, you had your Queen Latifahs, you had your MC Lights, you had your Roxanne. Hell, I'm even gonna throw Yo out there also. And I know some people might disagree and say, no, you know, she's not no conscious rapper, but any woman that can influence other little girls in a very positive way, yeah, you definitely doing your job. But something that I'm pretty sure y'all have probably seen or probably noticed also within probably the past 10 years, it's like the rap industry has been going more from predominantly male running to now it ain't nothing but women rappers. I mean, it's like every 5 minutes I'm hearing or seeing some new artist, female chick that's coming out, you know, and she's doing her thing and whatnot. And then I might do a little research on her and listen to some of her lyrics, and you know, to me it's kind of like it's on repeat because you know I didn't heard, you know, Gangsta Boo and them talk about, sucking and fucking and shit like that. But it's like every female artist that's out now, they're saying the same thing over and over and over and over. And it's starting to get to a point now where these little 8, 9-year-old, little, princes and future queens and everything, they actually feel like they have to live up to this image that they see on TV. Now, granted, they're coming from a good home. They have a mother. They have a father. The father is active in their life. The father, he does everything that a father's supposed to do, with his daughter. But his daughter is still being influenced from it's mess that we can leastly say to give somebody, some kind of hope, something.
Yeah. And I also do want to point out the fact that all thoughts are channeled, because I know Brother Theo said something about that. But, every single thought you have, even your own thoughts, are channeled. And, they could be channeled from your ego, they could be channeled from your higher mind. And that's why I call myself a channeler. But, in all reality, everybody is a channeler. But when you have control over that, when you actually understand, what channeling means, and you know where your thoughts are being channeled from, that's what kind of makes you like a channeler in your own right. But, you gotta be careful, with that music that you're listening to, because like you guys have been saying, you're channeling, or in that regard, you're listening to other people's thoughts, what they got going on, what they channeling, and where they're channeling from. And when the kids is listening to it, it kind of pissed me off because it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's manipulation. It's like just mass manipulation in an extent. And I kind of don't appreciate that, especially since I was a victim to that, you know.
Right.
So that makes me want to protect the future generation. That makes me want to put out like real rap. And Brother Theo, you also said, man, what did you say? Oh, I wrote it in my notes too. You said what you don't know won't hurt you. But you were saying that what you don't know will actually hurt you. And, I actually got an album coming out very soon called Knowledge is Bliss, where I talk about that a lot. Because, that famous saying, ignorance is bliss, is bullcrap. I personally believe that, I know some people might disagree, but when you understand yourself, when you understand what you're listening to, what you're consuming, all that stuff, it allows you to cut out the bull crap and, grow. It allows you to intake what actually helps to cultivate your growth. Yeah, just quick.
Shame. Yeah, and a lot of people they tend to kind of forget about the crystals also, because it is music. Hell, it's music. Music is all around us. This whole entire time that we've been doing this. This I don't know if y'all can see this or not. This is called a selenite crystal, and this is pertaining to my throat chakra. So by me knowing that I'm going to be talking, with you brothers, I said I need a little bit of influence, and then also my amethyst also, so that I can be connected to higher source also. And y'all do see me puffing on a cigar, so I wind up channeling my ancestors to come through me and to talk also, because it, it it was kind of funny, but like growing up, I can remember my grandparents. They say, turn that bullshit off, turn that bullshit off. Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit. You need to listen to some real music, some real music. And then, I'm like, well, granddaddy, what's real music? And then he would put some jazz on. And he was like, this is what you need to be listening to. And I was like, granddaddy, ain't nobody trying to hear that jazz. And he was like, son, one day you're gonna understand. And now I really do. I understand, classical music. I understand jazz. And to be honest with you, y'all see that I'm in the semi truck. And believe it or not, I don't listen to no music while I'm in this truck. I actually listen to all of the thoughts that come into my mind. And I be asking myself going down the road, do I want to accept you or not? And then I go from there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I be having my own tune going on in my head and whatnot. So it's like listening to it. It's like it's cool and whatnot, but also at the same time, I do understand the importance of just being quiet and just not listening to anything and just letting everything just come to kind of like being like in a meditative state and whatnot. Except my eyes is open and I'm actually driving and everything.
Observatory. I'm gonna chime in real quick about what Brother Jonathan said. I'm going to tell you this. First of all, I commend all you brothers. This is a great conversation. It's a great topic. It's very thought-provoking, and one has to examine himself. When we talk about vibrational thoughts, that's one of the main things. Is everything is for us to examine ourselves, and our thoughts are very important to examine. Because again, thoughts are powerful, just like our words. If our thoughts and our words line up together, we do alchemy. We can transmute anything. We can turn any situation from a negative to a positive. It depends on the reception, how we receive a thought, whether we want to work with and harmonize a situation on a thought that we have, and it seems like it might be something that you may or may not want to do, but we have the power to alchemically transmute a situation from negative to positive. We are very powerful beings, and it starts with thought. It starts with thought, and we are made, like, quote unquote, made in the likeness of his image. So we're going to get a little metaphysical when we talk about the God thought. That's where it comes from, thought. We can think, we can speak, we can do whatever we want in this physical world and in the non-physical world. But when one realizes who he is, that's when the fun begins, because then you start to exercise gifts that you didn't even realize that were so tied into your essence and your being and your spirit. Because we're limited in this body, but we're not limited in the mind. We're not limited in spirit either. And when we start talking about, again, going back to vibrational thoughts, and what Jonathan said was, knowledge is bliss. That's dope. And again, I commend all you brothers, man. I thank you guys for being here on this planet, for being my brothers, for thought-provoking conversations that will help us all grow, and for this mission that we're on, because we're all here on the same mission. We have different parts to play in the mission, but we're all here on the same mission. Going back to knowledge is bliss. I'm just thinking about, because I always receive certain quotes and certain little things that are said in scriptures, and you think about it, you have to think again, do you want to accept this or reject this? Well, thinking about what he said, knowledge is bliss, well, knowledge is power as well. And they say, to whom much is given, much is required. When we received in this, also another saying that says, he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. I'm going to transmute that. He who increases knowledge can change things. We are alchemists. We can turn a sorrowful situation into a happy situation. It's just how, back to what you said, Knight, whether we want to accept the situation or whether we want to reject the situation. If it's something that you don't want to accept, you have alchemy. We are alchemists. If we don't want to accept it, we can change. And that's a fact. We can change anything we want to. It's just the mindset. The most powerful tool that we have is our mind. The spirit is the engine. The mind is the steering column of the car. Those two things are heavily connected. If your mind is right, you can steer your car anywhere you want to go. The engine is the spirit, but if your spirit is not running right, your mind can't run right. The car ain't going nowhere. So those two things depend on each other. We can change things, man, based on our thoughts. Vibrational thoughts. We think higher thoughts. We align with higher. We make higher connections. We vibrate higher, and we align with the Most High. We are powerful, man. We are very powerful.
It's something that I wanted to add to what y'all saying, and I completely agree with all of that. That was powerful. And in regards to the whole knowledge, knowledge is bliss or ignorance is bliss. I think that's a really interesting thing. And honestly, I believe both are true. And I'm going to say why. And I feel like, because I've been doing some research into like placebo effect and stuff recently. And it's unbelievable how belief affects the physical reality. So they did tests where there's actually a few. So there's one where they cut somebody open for surgery and they told them that they got the surgery, and then they do tests with the people who actually got the surgery and with the people who just got cut open and then sewed back together. And the healing is the same across the board because people believe that they got the surgery from this top doctor. Or for example, I seen another one. I was watching a podcast and they were doing it was a special where a doctor who studies cannabis was talking about how they'll give people a strain of cannabis that has 30% THC, and then they give another group of people cannabis straight CBD 0.5% THC, but they tell them that they're the same strain and they get the same result. So I feel like this is just proof telling us that yes, the things around us affect us, but our belief is what is the cherry on top, basically. Our belief is what's gonna top it off and make it a break or make it a not a break. You know what I mean? So I think when you talk about ignorance is bliss, at the same time, knowledge is bliss, because now you have the ability to make a change in your life to better your reality so that you no longer are subject to the things that you wasn't aware of before. But at the same time, now that you have that knowledge, if you don't act on the knowledge that you acquired, now it can harm you even worse. So for example, if you know that EMFs are harmful to you, and let's say that you sleep with your phone on your chest every night, I believe that's going to affect you worse than somebody who has no idea about it. Because subconsciously, you tripping in your head like, damn, I slept with the phone on my chest. Now I got all this EMF in my system. And that stress creates physical hormones that make us even worse. Like, so that's really the knowledge is bliss, but at the same time, ignorance is bliss, because when you ignorant, you don't have that responsibility to make a difference. That's why you could see people out here doing whatever. But if I was to do some of the things they would do, I'll be going through withdrawals. I'll be going through it because I have the knowledge. So it's like sometimes I believe that too much information at once could be harmful to somebody because it's an overload. So that's why when you was talking about before how you just driving and you're not listening to nothing, I think that's powerful, because we need to learn how, like, as a people, and especially my generation, overstimulation, like we just need to learn how to shut it off and just listen and just absorb. So that's why I'm always outside, like, and I always like to just be in nature, because you could get downloads from nature, you could learn lessons from nature, but at the same time, you could just close your eyes and be. You don't got to worry about someone coming in the room talking to you. You don't got to worry about whatever. And getting back to ignorant, to knowledge is bliss. And now I have knowledge about how grounding is beneficial to my health. I got knowledge of how beneficial the sun is to me. Like, I got knowledge of when to look at the sun and when not to look at the sun. Like, when the sun is directly in the sky, noon, bro, that's so cleansing. It's gonna destroy all the toxins in the body, like how you was talking about earlier. But like, now that I have the knowledge that I can't look at the sun when it's noon, now I have that responsibility. And if I choose to do something that's gonna harm me knowingly, it's gonna have an even worse effect. So I think that's really, really important with that whole. I think that's like a what's it called, paradox or oxymoron? I don't know. What's the word that they use for it? Y'all know what I mean.
A misnomer.
Say it again.
Oxymoron or a misnomer.
Yeah. Like, I believe that they're both true in their own way. Cause I mean, even right now, like, it's so much going around us that we're not aware of. Like, it's ships flying around us. It's all types of stuff that we can't see. And because of that, we're in bliss. We don't know about everything that's going on. We have an idea, but for us to think that we know everything would be ignorant. You know what I mean? We don't know most of what's going on in the reality. And that's bliss. Because if we knew everything, we'd be going through, I don't even know I don't know. I don't think our physical body is ready for that yet. So that's why the sun is transforming. That's why the earth is transforming, so that we gradually are able to adapt to the changes that are to come, you know? So I think that's interesting. I think you could do a whole podcast on ignorance is bliss versus knowledge is bliss. I think that's super. I think that's dope.
That would be a good topic.
I think so too.
I just got
that's gonna be one. You did that. That's gonna definitely be one. You know.
I gotta say this real quick. Just when he's talking about the sun and everything is changing, bro. I normally don't sweat. I sat outside today about between 8 and I was listening to Dr. Bobby Price was talking about the circadian rhythm and detoxing and certain things like that. And the best natural detox is the sun. He said, sit out between 8 in the morning and 9 in the morning and soak up them rays of the sun. The detox, don't eat until between 12 and 1. Eat your heaviest meal between 12 and 1, and then eat a light meal later on so your body can digest. But he said, when you eat early, or when you get that detoxification in early, it creates melanin in your body. And that way it melanin or melatonin, it acts melatonin and it helps you to be able to sleep 12 hours later. So we'll be able, once you get that early sun in, it'll help you be able to sleep later on and you can go to sleep and have a better rest. But sitting out there in the sun, I was like, this is some different sun. This is hitting. I don't be sweating. I normally don't sweat, bro. I'm just sitting and I'm talking about, it was just pouring. I'm like, whoa, things are changing on the planet. And we have to get
Speaking of the sun, I had posted some pictures on Instagram, and it was, I want to say, between 7 between 7 and 8, and the sun, a reddish red, kind of orange kind of color. So I already knew that that's the perfect time to, absorb, take that energy in. And around about 9, 10 o'clock, it literally went from that orange red color to like kind of like a almost like a flashlight kind of color, just
Yeah.
real bright. And even now, like right now, because by me being in Mississippi and where I'm parked at, the sun is to my back. I already know it's a different color. But once about 6 or 7 starts to roll around, then that you can actually see the color just like start to change. And you know, I said, out of respect, for the brother, I didn't want to put too much of his business out there because everybody don't know, but we all are tribal brothers and whatnot. So I don't, but brother Yosef, he was talking about uh, best time, like you were saying, the best time to sun gaze in the morning, and also the best time to sun gaze in the evening. And Master Gibson, he had even broke it down a little bit deeper in one of his books, and he said that sun gazing in the evening, it puts off more of a sexual energy. And he was
Yeah.
talking about how he was able to take that energy and transform it when he would like go to the gym, work out, and et cetera. And people don't even realize that that's music also, because that's a vibration that's hitting us.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's why I said everything is on the vibration, the colors, the clouds, the sun, hell, this the cell phones that we looking through and talking to each other. Right now, even the communication. Everything is built upon that vibration. Man, it's a good thing, my brother. It's a good
Hey,
thing, and
hey.
I'm glad you say that though, PJ.
Now I was just gonna say, when you talk about the sun, I get excited because the sun is like the key to everything, like everything. And as we like study the sun more and get into what the ancients was talking about it, like and like how you mentioned Dr. Gibson, like that science is so vital to us, like especially as individuals who's on that right hand path, because the sun is gonna evolve us in a way that nothing else can. Like and the joy that I get from sun gazing and from being in the sun, like it's just I I wish everyone could know, like normal people, or what we call normal people, could know how beneficial it is to our consciousness. Like, and when you said that the sun is music, like when I've been sun gazing since I was little, and when I sun gaze, I could like hear a sound coming from the sun now. Like literally, you hear a certain pitch, frequency, or like even just imagining the sun, like those are all have been proven to be beneficial to our consciousness and to help us to evolve and grow. So I think when you talk about the sun and then utilizing solar energy with music and sun gazing at sunrise versus sunset, it's also real interesting how at sunrise he talks about how that's the highest level of Christ energy. So the highest level of energy that's going to evolve your consciousness. And then during the day, and what I find really interesting as somebody who's into plants and like during exercise, it's giving off that cliphotic destructive energy. And when I heard that at first, it made me think like, but this is something that's giving life to everything. This is something that's feeding, it's making the plants grow, it's detoxing our bodies. And then that's where it clicked for me. Because we could watch the sun rise and set and it's feeding us, but during the day, it's detoxing us on a cellular level. So then I said, so how is this making the plants grow? And then I remembered because I had to stop looking at it like 3D. Like the plants, we forget about the underground, like the root systems and everything that's going on in the microbial kingdom. Like that's where the plant is actually growing. When we see these trees, like, cause I'm at the park right now, I'll just show y'all so y'all can get a visual. Like, this is how I be thinking when I be at the park. Like, when the sun is shining on the tree, right? The tree is not even growing from the sun. It's getting energy from the sun, because if it don't get strong enough, the sun is gonna kill it. So it's like the sun is almost like, it's like it's forcing it to grow and evolve. But the tree is actually growing from the ground. It's just getting energy from the sun. I found that so deep and interesting. Where it's like, when you really understand, it's like the things that and like the destructive energy makes us grow. Like I think that that's so powdered. And like when you utilize music with that same intention or with that same thought process, it's like when I think back to like my younger days, when I used to listen to destructive things, like it shifted my consciousness into something that wasn't ideal. And then it forced me, like, I don't know if y'all was in the meeting, where was it? On Friday with Bro Yosef, and he talked about when you in a lower state of consciousness, like on 3D or 2D, you actually have the potential to go to an even higher realm because you was going through greater suffering. So it's like when you going through destruction and suffering and you going through chaos, you actually can transmute that lower energy into an even higher energy instantaneously. So it's like we could use, oh yeah, you could get on it. You could use destructive energy and transmute it. Like that's why I feel like the sun is like, especially for us as a tribe, man, the sun is king. Like getting in the sun, detoxing the heavy metals, detoxing the margillas, you know, the micro technology, all of that. The sun is going to do it because we are the most advanced technology. Like the body, all this other stuff that they creating, they're doing their best to try to slow us down, but they can't do it when you live in the right way. So yeah, I apologize though. I be getting real pumped up when you talk about the sun. I love the sun.
Hey, hey, we all sun lovers. You know, over here and whatnot, my brother. So we could talk about the sun and vibrational thoughts that come off the sun, and the downloads that you can get off the sun, the sound that you can receive off the sun. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And like you said, I really do wish more people would tap more into it. But I have to say this: if more people was to tap into it, I kind of have to believe the powers that do be, they would do any and everything to make sure that everybody cannot tap into it.
Well, that's what they're actually doing now by trying to cover it up with all this stuff they be putting out there. They're trying to cover it up, and that's actually to keep us from being able to receive light, because we get light and information from the sun. We are, and I'm claiming for myself, I know I'm a child of the sun. And when we talk about the Most High, what's the Most High? What's the highest degrees planet? It's the sun. But we are children of the sun. So therefore, if we're children of the sun and we are made in the likeness of his image, or say the creator, for lack of a better term, if we are made in the likeness of the creator's image, and really we talk about who is the sun, and we're children of the sun, then we are the sons of the sun. We are sun beings. And that's why we don't get burned. We can be out there all day. I've been out all day in the sun, working, chilling, and I'm cool. I might get a little tan, but others can't do the same thing because of the melanin that we have in us. Melanin and the sun go hand in hand. The sun energizes us, whereas it may do harm to others who don't have as much melanin as we do. But hence the fact that young brother Sun Cloud, quote unquote, the sun cloud, that's what makes him happy. Sun. It makes all of us happy. It energizes us. And it is the ultimate. It's the ultimate healer. It's the ultimate energizer. Even when they talk about solar, where do they get the energy to propel the solar? From the sun, the most high energy, the most high energy. And yes, we all have to be attuned to the frequencies and get used to higher vibrations and get used to the rays of the sun. Them solar rays light up our solar plexus, everything in us. It energizes us, it feeds us. And yes, it's music. I absolutely agree. Ashe.
Yep. That's something you said last week. Music for the soul, baby. Music for the soul.
Ashe.
Hey, I wanted to add something real quick. When you talk about melanin, I don't think y'all were in the. I know Jonathan wasn't there. I don't remember if you was there. I did a thing on heavy metals. Theo was there, and I forgot to mention this in the meeting. Hold on, there's some motorcycles going by. But it's a parade here in New York City today. But anyway,
Which festival?
Say it again.
Which festival?
Oh, it's like a Dominican festival or something like that. So people is outside like crazy today. Like y'all could probably hear it, but anyway, melanin is actually the number one thing that binds to heavy metals in the body. I didn't even touch on that in the meeting. I don't know. See, that's why I gotta do a rerun, because like the amount of information is just crazy. How our body copes with these things. That's why they trying to keep us down so hard. Because like if we tap in and activate even just a fraction of our power, it's too much for them to handle. So that's why the main thing is distractions. It's the club, it's the drinks, it's the phones, it's all that. But the melanin, so there's melanin in our skin, right? Which binds to the heavy metals, and it actually organizes the heavy metals into a specific area. And this is why when you talk about cancer, I always tell some people look at me like I'm crazy when I say that cancer is a good thing. But it's like, and I'm sure y'all have heard Yaki always talks about that. How cancer or any type of tumor is actually just a collection of toxicity together. And melanin, that's why you hear melanated people get prostate cancer, get breast cancer more than anybody else. Is because the body is actually doing what it's supposed to do at a very efficient level. And then when you talk about neuromelanin, which increases when you sun gaze, which increases when you in the sun, that's going to actually bind to the heavy metals in the pineal gland, in the pituitary gland. So melanin, neuromelanin, melatonin, they all related, super powerful. And it all goes back to the sun. Like, it's not just vitamin D and melatonin. Like, we getting like, I think 18 or 19 different vitamins from the sun. Like, it's unbelievable, but they trying to do as much as they can to block it or to keep people inside or whatever the case may be. So yeah, powerful.
Ashe. Well, my brothers, did any of y'all want to have a few last words before we in this Zoom call or what?
I just want to say that thoughts are vibrations, and it is up to one's individual self to keep your vibrations high and to keep your thoughts pure, keep your thoughts as high as possible. This is how we evolve, by keeping our vibrations high and keeping our thoughts high. Mindfulness, we have to always be aware when thoughts that we receive are not our own, because they can influence, not withhold anything, but they can alter our paths. based on what we receive and what we reject. Going back to what you said, we have to be mindful of the vibrational thoughts, because sometimes our thoughts are not our own. It also depends on our environment. It also depends on people that we interact with. And it also depends on people that are even close to you in close proximity within a certain radius. Because our auric fields extend out so far, and sometimes they interact and intermingle with other people's, and they also intermingle with thoughts. With that being said, we always have to protect our thoughts, protect our energy. Again, Parliament said it, George Clinton said it best: mind your thoughts, because someone wants your mind. This is a psychological warfare that we're in. So and they say control, you kill the head, you kill the body. So we always have to guard our minds and guard our thoughts. And keep your vibes high, keep the thoughts high. It's metaphysics and music, baby. All day. Yeah. Hey, that's what we do right here at Metaphysics and Music. We keep the vibes high. We keep our thoughts high. We're looking forward to higher thoughts and higher vibrational paths to lead our followers and our viewers down, so they can have thoughts of their own that line up with the Most High, and that we can all come together as a collective and raise the vibration of this planet and raise the vibrations of our brothers and sisters, because vibrations are healing mechanisms too. Because I'm vibrating on love, I'm sending love to everybody who are close around me. That's just me. I just vibrate on love. Hate. We were talking about curse words earlier in another meeting. Curse word to me is hate. I don't say that word, and I'm just saying it here for this purposes. That's a word that I don't hate. I vibrate on love. We got to keep our vibrations pure, and we will all evolve at our designated times and at our designated places. And that saying is, all fruit that fall from the same tree don't ripen at the same time. So we all got our own time, and we all have to continue to help each other to try to evolve by sending high vibrational thoughts and having high vibrational conversations. Never judgmental, never impartial. This is not a contest. It's not. It's a collaboration. And that's how we should be doing on this earth. We should be collaborating with one another to help each other grow, period. Because we all want to get off this planet and not have to come back to keep repeating the same karmic cycle. So like they say, iron sharpens iron, each one teach one. We're all supposed to help one another, help our brothers and sisters. Again, metaphysics and music, baby, we keep the vibes high. Ashe.
Hey, before we head out, I did also want to just share an experience that I had pertaining to vibrational thoughts this week. And I hinted towards it like in the beginning when I lost my phone, because that situation, it kind of flustered me a little bit, right? Because nobody wants to go out and buy a new phone. They're expensive. So, I went through every emotion, you feel me? I was worried. I was confused how I lost it. I was angry at some point because I thought somebody stole my stuff. But long story short, I was searching for 4 hours. I kind of accepted, I let it go. And the next day, when I was a bit more clear-minded, I went into meditation. And I kind of, tuned myself back into awareness and gratitude, right? And that alone allowed me to find my phone. I'm sitting here talking to y'all on it right now. It was just laying smack in the middle of the street. But the mere fact that I was sitting there, instead of being flustered, the next day I was just like, I'm grateful I got a vehicle to go up and search for my phone. I was even telling myself, I'm grateful I found my phone. I'm grateful I got 2 legs to walk. You feel me? All that stuff. And like I said in the last podcast, being grateful, you're in the state of receiving. So that alone allowed me to get my phone back. I personally believe that. because I mean, it was sitting like smack in the middle of the street. I don't even know. I don't know how I found it, but I did. So, I'm just grateful for that, and I want to share that with y'all because understanding how to utilize your thoughts and understanding not to, I guess, make decisions when you're flustered or when you're upset. You're not as clear minded, So, returning back to that natural state of peace, joy, and gratitude, is going to allow you to attract a lot more things to you. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Gratitude, man. Gratitude. Yes. Vibrational thought. Last thing I'm gonna say, the vibrational thought, just like Brother Jonathan said, gratitude. Young brother GJ says it all the time. Gratitude. As brother Ninth Out, brother Keenan, same thing. Gratitude. That's one word that we share and we express to one another all the time. So the vibrational thought for this whole message is stay in gratitude. Ashe.
Sure.
For all things, we give thanks and gratitude. Ashe. I give gratitude. I'm giving gratitude for the opportunity to be able to cipher with you, brothers. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, man. And that's real spit. Gratitude.
Well, it's gratitude right back at my brothers. Right back at you. Brother GJ, any final last words you want to say to the people or whatnot?
Nothing in particular. I mean, the main thing is what everyone else said, stay in that place of gratitude. It's real easy to be in that roller coaster of, emotions going everywhere. But it's I believe one of the superpowers that we have is to be in a place of balance and to use the emotions as tools instead of allowing because the reality is gonna reflect how you feel. It's gonna reflect your emotions, and it's also gonna reflect your habits. So it's important to do things that help you to remain in a state of gratitude, like listening to high vibrational conversations, getting sunlight. That's a main for everybody. So getting active, eating for your soul and not for your body, and just living a life of what can I say? Living a life that's feeding you and not just living a life to satisfy your flesh or your desires, because that's just gonna lead to suffering.
Sure.
That reminds me of a quote, man. The mind is a beautiful servant, but the dangerous master. I always try to keep that in mind as well, because if you're letting your thoughts control you, that kind of wraps up everything we was talking about. If you let your thoughts control you and your actions and that, and the third, you're not going to get a good result. But if it's the other way around, you controlling your thoughts, it's a completely different, it's a different thing going on. But yeah.
You know, the whole entire time that we've been doing this call. My phone is over here doing some weird stuff, but I got yellow and black butterflies that been flying around this truck. I've been seeing dragonflies flying around the truck and everything, and that's I'm like, okay, you know, vibrating very high right now. You know what I'm saying? So to everybody that's watching and listening, just keep this in mind, y'all. As it's an old saying that Rome was not built overnight. And with that being said, in order to get or to even start to go down this path in this journey, you have to take one step at a time. So if it's the smallest thing as simply changing up what you eat, changing up what kind of water you drink, changing up what you listen to, changing up to hell, who you can hang around, who you conversate with, what you watch on TV. You got to start off small, because if you can start off small, making that first step, then the creator is gonna make 10 steps for you, and the rest is gonna be history from there. So just take everything, take one day at a time, one step at a time, and yeah, I see you, brother Theo.
That's how we keep our vibes high. The insects, they love us. They don't come to harm us. Same thing when you're talking about, man. I love seeing butterflies, man. That just tells you that your vibrations are high. They come to visit and give you messages. All the answers, all the animals do that. They even come in the form of our ancestors and other higher beings, and we sometimes discredit that or don't see the messages that insects, birds, and other flying species come to bring us. If dragonflies are around you, your vibes are high, bro. If bees come around you, they don't sting you, your vibes are high. They come into your energy field because of your vibration. Butterflies come around you, that means your vibes are high. So those are things that make me joyful. When I see animals and birds and stuff, and they come and they flying over me, man, I done touched dragonflies and shit. The sparrows come and they come and talk to me like that song, His Eye is on the Sparrow, and I know he watches over me. I know it's a Christian song. Every time I see a sparrow, I'm like, thank you, Creator, because I know you're sending me a message. Every time birds, eagles come, even the ravens, my tribal name last name means raven. That's my family. They come and they give me messages. They come and let me know that they're watching over me. These are fucking hornets. They come, they don't fuck with me. Man, I love nature, bro. I love nature. They bring messages. When insects, people get scared out and stuff, that's when they're gonna get you, because you're trying to attack them. They just coming around and let you know, hey, cool, I want to be in your circumference, I want to be in your area because your energy is good. So they just coming to visit. They only gonna attack you when you start attacking them. We supposed to greet those insects. We supposed to greet them and talk to them. Butterflies, man, I love seeing butterflies, man. That's my grandmother. My grandmother's a butterfly. She visits me all the time. I get so much joy from those type of things. They make me happy, bro. You talking about happy? My queen will tell you, I just totally get elated when I get visits from nature. Shit is dope, man. So those butterflies are coming to tell you that you're good. Look up the spiritual meaning of a butterfly. Look up the spiritual meaning of a dragonfly. Then you'll be like, okay. Messages from the universe. Just like Brother Jonathan the Hawk came and visited. Brother GJ, the bird, the time you told me about the birds came and flying and landing on you in the park and shit. They coming to chill with us. They ain't coming to harm, they coming to chill. And we just got to understand who we are energetically, and that's why we get these visits. Everybody is not that lucky. We blessed, man. We blessed, man. Okay. Ashe.
Well, my brothers, this was a very interesting, exciting conversation that we had. Hey, there's many more to have and whatnot. Like I said, to everybody that's watching this on YouTube and everything else, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, comment, share, and whatnot. We need to get them subscribers up. We get them subscribers up, we can go live, and y'all can actually see us live versus us taping it and then later on putting it out there and whatnot. So it's a beautiful thing. Ain't nothing but peace, love, and happiness on my end to all of y'all.
Ashe. Receive, reciprocate 100,000-fold. and so shall it be. Ashe.
I say. All right, my brothers, until next Sunday, we're gonna be back, do it again, and it's gonna be another good one. Brother Theo, any last words? Did you
Upfulness,
say you was gonna? All right.
wholeness, joy, and abundance and love be to all that are here and that are with us. It's metaphysics and music, baby. Peace.
Peace, peace, fam.
Peace, peace.
Peace out.